Hi there. Just a quick video for those considering buying the Casio AQ230. I have a few watches in my collection, but the occasional Casio takes my eye as a cheap beater, but the Casio 230 was definitely something a little bit more unique. So I decided to get one, and initially I purchased this from eBay. It cost me $35, I think, or $40 Australian, and rocked up in this packaging and that flat pack. So immediately I was disappointed with the quality. I could tell that, okay, I probably was overlooking the packaging initially, thinking maybe that was just a display model or whatnot, but as I got closer to the watch, I could tell that there was definitely some issues. So I just want to highlight those issues and the differences between the fake and a real. I went out and purchased a real one. I managed to get it from City Beach cheaper for about, I think, $90 Australian with the City Beach 20% off. So, roughly $50 difference between the two. And I'm glad I spent the extra money. This one's going back under an eBay policy, so I'll get my money back. But so obviously the first issue that's very evident is the packaging. Your watch should come in a certified Casio box with tags and an instruction manual. All Casios have that as a minimum, regardless of how cheap. The next thing that will be very apparent when you're admiring the watch and you just can't notice the fact that there is pitting, and it's not showing up on video that well, but there is pitting in the castings around the dial. It's almost looks like there's micro scratches, but it's actually little dots in the resin before they chrome it. And it's just, in person, you just can't look at it. You can tell it's a very cheap watch versus the original, which has a beautiful, clean finish, despite my finger marks on it. The next thing you'll notice is the dial. Now, it is a nice reflective black dial, which some argue looks, lovely. It comes a bit more of a grey appearance than black in person, whereas the genuine AQ230 is a solid black, and I think that's half the charm of this particular model and this color. And when you're after a black, you want a true black. The next thing that is very apparent is the A button in the manual. This button on the right hand side, as you look at it, it sticks out on the fake. You can see there, sticks out. The original or genuine model, it doesn't stick out. It's got a safeguard on it to prevent accidental presses. That's because that button adjusts the analog time. So accidentally pressing will mean that you'll have a accidentally adjusted analog time, which is not what you want. Right. There are some other issues. I mean, apart from the fact that there's, it appears to be genuine stamping on the back saying Casio and all that sort of stuff. Looks original. The bracelet actually feels of lesser quality, and there are Casio stampings on it, but the clasp is actually quite tight and it doesn't seem to clip in very easily. You seem to have to manually maneuver it a bit more. So those are the main differences I've identified in my few minutes with the watch. When you're going out to purchase an AQ230 or any Casio, I guess, just keep an eye out, I suppose, because there are a lot of people ripping off Casios, and it makes you wonder why, because that's not an expensive watch. It's very, very cheap. Anyway, have fun out there, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video.